Welcome back, class. Yesterday we talked through our summative project and we outlined two options that you have: buying a car or renting or purchasing a home. And then you worked on your wants and needs. Here's the wants and needs from the vehicle, but the wants and needs sheet for the home was pretty similar, where you list things that you want in your purchase, things that you need to have. We're going to assume that in both situations you have electricity in the home, that your car runs and has an engine. Other features you're going to work on. That's what we did yesterday. Today, we're going to go back and look at page 2. We skipped over page 2 yesterday. This is background information that you need to have in order to make your purchase. You need to know how much money we are giving you to spend. So for this activity, just like for your project during semester 1 where you were given a budget, we are giving you an amount of money that you have to make these financial decisions. This slide 2 applies to both option 1, the vehicle, or option 2, the home. Let's talk through this and provide some rationale. For this activity, we're going to assume that you have a job and then you get paid an hourly wage. Remember, the goal of this class is to use things for life after high school. So we are going to use an amount of money that you might make either in high school or in the next few years after high school. We want to make it as pertinent to your current living situation as we can. You can always go back and use this sheet in the future. This summer, next year, it's going to be saved to your drive, so you can tweak things. We are going to grade it this week, Miss Hoffman, Miss Wendelbo, and I, but as far as your future, you can use this and the resources. So let's talk about why we're giving you the amount of money we're giving you. With hourly work, you don't always get paid time off. So that's why we're basing this on 50 weeks a year, although there's 52 weeks in a calendar year. I skipped ahead for a second. Let me move back. We are going to assume that you will work 40 hours per week. That's typically an 8-hour day, 5 days a week. Now, we're not saying you have to work that long, but just for our calculations, we're basing this on 40 hours a week, roughly working 22 days per month, 50 weeks a year. Now, when you get paid hourly, you don't always get time off. You can take time off, but you don't get paid. So you're sick, you don't work, someone comes in for you, you don't get paid. Your dog is sick, you got to take your dog to the vet, you don't get paid. You want to take a trip with your family, so you don't work, but you don't get paid. So that's why we're calculating 50 weeks. I'm reading this information just so you're familiar. You're going to get paid $15 per hour. We're going to assume there's a big movement to move towards a living wage, and there's a lot of talk that $15 an hour starts to get people close. When we do this calculation, that's roughly about $30,000 a year gross. That means before taxes. Now, when we ask you to do the calculations on this page, they're not going to come out exact. They're approximate, but you are going to take the information from above here and apply it to this formula. Given the information above, how much do you earn per month before taxes? Well, you're going to take your dollars per hour. How much is that? 15 here. You're going to move it down to the 15. Then you're going to take your hours per day. How many hours a day? Well, where would I find that, Miss Hoffman? Oh, right here. It's on bullet point 2, 8 hours per day. So you're going to put that there. How many days do you work per month? I don't know, 40 days per month, 80 days per month? No, wait. We have that information here. You're just making the calculation. In roughly every working month, there's between 20 and 23 weekdays. So just for estimation purposes, we're going to say 22. And you're going to calculate your gross. The other way we would like you to calculate is annual salary divided by months per year. Like I said, these two green monthly incomes are going to be slightly different, and you can choose to do the rest of your project on whichever one you like better. But we want to practice in this class just like we did in the budgeting unit, and in the rental unit, where we were talking about renting a certain percentage of our income, different ways to calculate your income. So in the second one, you're going to use the annual salary, which we gave you on this line, and divide it by how many months there are in a year, which is 12. That'll give you a monthly gross pay. And 2. Our next step is to choose one of these gross monthly pays and apply it down here to question number 2. These are similar but not exactly the same. They're within a couple $100s of each other. Some people, when they think about spending money and budgeting, they want to be conservative and make sure that they budget for things that may come up, so they tend to choose a lower number. Other people want to make purchases that are a little more expensive and are more comfortable with living on the edge of their budget, and so they may choose the higher pay. It doesn't matter. Choose whichever one of these you're comfortable shopping with for either this car or this housing, and you're going to use one of these on both these lines. Not both of them, but you're going to choose one for both these lines. Let's look at question 2. We're going to use the answer to this on the rest of our project. If you assume that 30% of your pay goes to taxes and Social Security, how much you bring home is called your net pay. So gross pay is money before taxes, net pay is money after taxes. We need to calculate what your net pay is so you know what you're dealing with. This is not the amount of money you have to spend on a house or an apartment or a car. This is the amount of total spending money you have, so you can think about how much of that you want to spend on a house, apartment, or a car. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your gross pay, multiply it by 0.3. That's the same as 30%. That'll take out and tell you what you pay in taxes and Social Security. We're then going to take that amount and subtract it down here. So then we take that gross monthly pay again, take out the taxes and Social Security, and that gives us the purple answer. That's your take-home pay. That's what goes on this line, and that's what's going to also go, wait for it, over here, net pay, when you're doing your vehicle calculations, because you're going to use that to calculate how much money you have left to spend on other things after you pay for your car. Or in your housing, it's going to be this. See, it says question 2, page 2. That's where you're going to get that purple number again and place it right here.